Let's follow up now on that Chrysler.
We'll follow up on that Chrysler six-cylinder, Dodge six-cylinder.
Yeah, Dodge,
that we had the other day. We had a little video on it.
Yeah.
We got that water tube out of the engine.
Yes.
So we drilled a hole in the back of the motor and took a rod and poked it out there and dug as much of stuff out of there as much as we could. So here's a little example of what we actually got out of there.
Oh my gosh.
There's a little piece of it.
No.
And here's the tube.
No wonder you were fighting it.
Yeah. So this is a little, actually you can see that water, the holes in it here a little bit that used to be where shot water up at the valves.
Right.
So this is a piece that we got, and this should be 24 inches long.
Wow.
So this is how bad it was. It's probably the original, maybe. I would think it probably was the original.
Wow.
Probably 1950. Could be as late as 59.
Okay.
That's when they
I
quit
think we were
making,
guessing 54 for some reason.
Yeah, but 59 they quit making the six-cylinder Flathead.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Dodge did.
Yeah.
Because the 60 was the Slant Six.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and here's the new tube. I bought a new tube for it, and
oh, wow.
you see it's tapered.
Yep.
Like a knife.
You're right.
So you get pressure, water pressure in here.
Yep.
And a tapered tube. It's got a holes in it here, and this is the holes that shoot the water up on the valves.
Okay.
And we're going to pound this when we get done with the motor. We're going to pound this and slide it in that motor.
Yep.
With the cylinder walls.
Yep.
And this is the end where the water pump goes.
Right.
So we'll flare this out with a little flaring tool here, so it fits tight around that hole in the block.
Right.
So the water goes in here, goes through the block of the motor, goes back out right beside it and circulates. That's the water.
Right.
So this is a water tube.
That is the water tube.
You
And yeah, I think just to make it clear, I think you just said it, but the water goes in here, shoots up, and then eventually returns back through that other hole.
The motor through the block.
Yeah, okay.
Through the cylinder head and block back to the water pump and circulates.
Yep. That makes sense.
And without this, again, we talked about that the other day, with this rotted one here, all rotted off,
right?
We probably have about this much. The water just went around and around here in front of the block and never circulated in the back of the motor. That's why that motor, when we took it apart, was full of dirt.
Right, it was. It really was.
The whole back of the motor is full of dirt.
That is incredible.
Probably a whole bucket of dirt in the bottom because there was no circulation for years and years and years.
Right. Wow.
And again, like the manual says, you're supposed to change this every 2 years. If you know, I have a brand new 49 to 54 Dodge.
Wow.
6-9, yeah.
So I guess the only thing that saved it was it was in a tug, so it never got really hot.
It was in an airplane tug.
Right.
And
so it never was run for hours and hours. And
probably an hour, half an hour, probably pulling a boat around. He pulls boats with it.
Right.
In his yard.
Sure.
So he just pulls boats around a little bit, shuts it off. Yeah.
Got it.
But and this cost around, I think I've got about maybe a little over $100 in this brand new.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
Well, that solves the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. No comparison there. That's for sure.
Yeah. This is that hole we drilled the other day.
Right. There it is.
And this tube fits in the other end of the motor.
Yep.
So I'm going to turn the motor over.
Boy, this is unrecognizable. It's so clean.
Here's that same block. We got it clean. We're getting ready to bore it out. Here's that water tube, and here's where the water would go in here and come right back out of here.
That's
and it just circulate through here and never go through the rest of the motor.
Wow.
We're going to put this tube right in here. Like that. Yeah, the holes are up for the valves.
Right.
It's got to go clear down in there like that.
Well, that's good to see how it lines up, actually.
We squirt water in all the tubes, yeah.
Okay.
So, and we'll flare this out a little bit so it fits around this groove a little bit better than it does.
Right.
So actually,
interesting.
I won't put it in right now because
let's not do it now. You got to have your tools and everything ready. Interesting.
We're going to bore it out and hone it and things like this.
Okay, so that's next, is boring it out.
Yeah.
Where did the head go?
It's on my bench. It's milled.
Is it all cleaned up?
It's all cleaned up and milled, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. 4 rings on the pistons.
Are those are new pistons though, right?
Yeah, brand new pistons.
Yeah. 40 over.
Yeah.
Wow, and you were able to source those.
Yeah. Most of the parts like that, most of old engines, brand name engines, Dodge, Chrysler, Ford, you can get mainly everything for them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Might have to pay a little money.
Yeah.
And this is a little expensive kit for this.
Now, speaking of which,
we got an oil pump for it.
Yeah.
And then bearings, rod bearing, main bearing, cam bearings.
Yep.
And rings and pistons, gaskets. It's all available, yeah.
Interesting. Now, someone decided it's worth spending the money to rebuild it instead of buy a new engine of a different kind.
A different kind, you'd have to change the transmission and maybe mounts and radiator and too many things.
Right.
For a commercial vehicle, yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. That wave machine they had and cleaned. These are the side panels here that when you go in the engine where you adjust the valves.
Right.
And this they had all milled and straightened up.
Wow, that looks really great.
Pretty good shape, yeah.
Wow, yeah, for a flathead, it just needs to be flat. That's the biggest goal, right?
Yeah. You got a new set of pistons and all kinds of things for it. Cam bearings, everything, yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Well, you know, I guess the next stop on this story is to see it all assembled.
Yeah. Good. Have a good day.
All right.
Enjoy.
Thank you, Ed.
Yeah,
Take care.
okay.
Bye-bye.